That's right, Internet. Yeah, you're here late. What's up? We've had over 913 trades today show up. 911 of them have worked. Yeah. You believe that? You should. Should I go through the list? I could show you all 913 trades that we did already. You guys better be a part of the room. Because when you hear these stories, when I come on at 11 o'clock, and you're like, no way. Yes way. Yes way. We shorted the Qs 3 times today and lived to tell the tale. Yes way. You guys in the VICR from 58 bucks? Remember when I told you they were going to have a blowout quarter because my analyst friend is a super genius from 1993 who knows about tech stocks? Yes way. Yes way. Remember I told you the trade that we have that never fails? And I said, you're probably going to want to be trading AT&T today? Yes way. No way. Yes way. Shorted it first. Faux show bro long trade. Yes way. Faux show bro long trade. Yes way. You guys know about Donut? Remember how much we loved this stock the other day? Yes way. Remember when we were in from $4? Yes. Yes way. Remember coming in today thinking, hey, this pump and dump's time to dump this thing. Let's go short. Yes way, right there. And then you crushed it. And then you crushed it again. And then you crushed it again. Yes way. And then you saw the turn, the U-turn in U, and we laughed and we joked and we said, seriously? Yes, U just made a U-turn. Yes way. 1 minute multi-day VWAP, faux show bro VWAP break. And then we bought USAR. Yes way. Faux show bro VWAP break, got paid, stopped out. Wonderful. Texas Instruments. Yes way. Remember earnings reports that never fail? I got a trade that never fails. There it is. Faux show bro VWAP break on an earnings report. And it gave you another chance to get in, and another chance to get in, and another chance to get in, and another chance to get in. Yes way. That was 4 different trades right here on Texas Instruments, and all of them worked. Yes way. No way. Yes way. So here's another no way. No way. I got an email. A guy made $50,000 in a couple of days in the chat room. Yes way. I got another guy who says he did $250,000 last week. Yes way. Those are real numbers. That's not me. These trades are working. And when you see how well they work and the low risk nature of them, you'll be coming in ready to rock. And all those trades, all the earnings reports and the earnings reports, blah, 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 blah. You know what my best trade was today? Take a wild guess. I bet you don't know. Was it AT&T and this wonderful, beautiful setup around VWAP? Was it the Texas Instruments? Oh, my Lord. Was it the Netflix? Which was kind of a dud, but we got paid right there. How to get stopped out. I probably should have shorted it. Was it that? Was it just short the QQQ trade? Was it that I milked all the way down to the 4-day VWAP and then covered on the way back up? No. My best trade was smashing this pump and dump FLWS right in their dumb faces, because this stock is a pump and dump, worthless piece of garbage. This is what I do best. So I got a trade that works every time. Well, it showed up on this piece of shit. So if you're trading pump and dumps, and this was a wonderful pump this morning, great long trade. Faux show bro, reason to be long. Woo, we're loving it. Ooh, loving it. And then blow off top. You went from the faux show bro VWAP break, the trade we love on the long side. Yeah, I'm loving FLWS long. And then it blew the top off, rolled over, and now we're selling it and we're shorting it. And then you got a 1 minute multi-day VWAP reversal to the downside. And the reason I love this trade so much is that 15 minutes after saying how this stock could go to 10 bucks, oh my God, it's so sick. Now we're shorting the shit out of it. That's trading. And that's VWAP at its best. because VWAP takes what you think is going to happen and shoves it in your face. And if you're not going to whine about being wrong, let me explain it to you one more time. It's all right to be wrong. You just don't stay wrong. Right? So when this thing was breaking 850, I'm thinking it's going to $10. Why not? But then it rolls over. And whatever I thought was done. Then it breaks VWAP. So what do I know? Stocks that blow the top off, that break VWAP, tend to go back to prior day VWAP. If they go back to prior day VWAP, they tend to keep going down. And then it gets tested from underneath. And we shorted the living out of this piece of, and they need a buzzer. And this was my best trade of the day. And I left $4,000 on the table because when it rolled over that third time, I didn't even have any left because I got out right here. But I was short from over here. And it was a fantastic trade. And if you're still in the V wave, I don't want to hear it. Please stop asking me about this stock. My target is 1 million. You still in it? You should be. So, ladies and gentlemen, if you're just joining us, these last 48 hours have been the greatest 48 hours in the history of trading. And I think you might think I'm kidding. We haven't had a loss. There has been close to, I don't know, I think there was about 120 trades yesterday. We've only had about 50 today. And most of them have worked. And you got the VICR from last night. So I'm going to take a dance moment. And if you guys want to dance along with me, and then I'll be right back. I'm sure you'll be amazed. Big fun to be had by everyone. It's up to you. Surely can be done. Oh, I'll do it, I'm told. Just one try, and you too will be sold. It's for the freak. They're doing that today. And now let's show you that. Woo! Session. All that pressure got you down. As your head spinning all around. Feel the rhythm, check the rhyme. Come on along and have a real good time. Things are stopping as a boy. Now we're free. Oh, what a joy. Just come on down to the floor. Find the spot out on the floor. All right, there's a reason I'm playing this song, right? Because it's crazy. It's crazy. Hang on, let me get my face on it because some people can't appreciate how passionate I am without looking at my beautiful face. I know it's scary to some, but some people actually think I'm kind of good looking. Oh, man. I don't want to distract anybody now. Okay. Oh. Okay. Now we may begin again. First of all, let me tell you something what my life is not about. It's not about VICR. Okay. Let's just pat ourselves on the back. Well, you could pat me on the back. This is just me knowing people, right? So we're having this conversation. What do I get if I join the Hit the Bid room? You're looking at it. Sorry. Maybe I'm not up to your expectations, but that's what you get. You get me. There's also another guy. His name is Solid Jello, and he's been my partner. Yeah, in a gay way. He's been my partner since '07, and he found me just like most people. Man, this guy on the internet is out of his fucking mind. I got to go check out what he's saying. And then Solid learned pretty quickly that through the craziness and my off-puttedness and weird way about me, I do know what I'm talking about. I've been in the industry for 30 years. So fast forward till circa 2012, where I started blowing my life up, as I have done twice before, by shorting the market like an idiot, long, psychotic, just getting my ass kicked. Biggest position I ever had in my life. You know the story. Didn't work out. And then I spent 2013, 2014, and 2015 not joining the winning side and making my life better, made it 10 times worse by continuing to do things that I know wasn't working. And I just kept pushing and pushing to the point where I had to quit and I was broke. Gave every penny I ever made back and humiliated, destroyed, disgusted. And there I was crawling back to my father to borrow money. And from that point on, I've resurrected my career. I've had 2 or 3 blow up, again, the UVXY trade. You all know about that. We don't have to talk about that. But through all my ups and downs, right? I've never seen a trade that works this well, right? Ever. And now that's all we do, right? It comes in a lot of different ways, pump and dumps, faux show, bro, blow off tops. So, but going back to this whole thing about me doing this for 30 years, right? And what? You charge $5,000 to be in a chat room? Yes. It's an insult to me and Solid. Because talk to the guy that made $250,000 last week. How much do you think the room's worth to him? $20,000. Right? It's all relative. And just this trade VICR, right? This is just because I know people and you know me. I don't trust analysts, but I've got an analyst that has put in his track record. Sorry to use that word, but his track record has been pretty damn good. So when he called me out of the blue and he said, "Hey, this Vicker, we're here, we've been doing some hard work on this with our MBAs and all of our analysis, and we think this stock's about to blow the roof off." And I looked at that chart and I said, "Bro, if you're right, this chart is a Kardashian bottom that has just came out of an Andy Dufresne pattern. And if you're right, and this stock can just break over 62, you're looking at a double top break at 65. I'm already interested because of the chart. And this is what I love about this moment of time right here. Technical analysis meets the fundamental guy. I'm glad he was right, but I was still interested in this chart because of what I'm seeing here. Coming out of a downtrend, pretty much sideways, other than gross. Remember, 2025, the dumber the chart looks, the better the explosion to the upside. Voila. And this is a legitimate company, not just a dog shit stock like Beyond Meat coming out of, and again, you got to scrunch it up. But before this monstrous move, it looked like the same chart. Any stock that I have found coming out of what we call the Kardashian bottom, or it's an Andy Dufresne Kardashian bottom. So the sideways action is the Andy Dufresne working its way through the muck. There's always a little moment where it tries to come out and fails. That creates your ass crack, if you will. And those big ass butt cheeks is the Kardashian bottom. So it's Andy Dufresne, Kardashian bottom. And when you turn, especially this year, I've never seen anything like it. you're rallying not just 10%, 20%. Stocks that have been coming out of this pattern have been rallying hundreds of percent. Now, again, this is a real company. 2025, the anomaly is the worst companies are making the best moves because the short squeeze is that much more powerful. But when I saw that chart on VICR, I said, hey, I got to bring this to my people. And I said, listen, I don't know how the numbers are going to be. This is a guy that's done some analysis. He says he loves it. He says they got some good news. And then they pre-announced. You know what that means? VICR, whatever this company is, I have no idea really. It's in the biosphere of NVIDIA. I was like, did you just mention NVIDIA? I'm interested. That's all I knew. All I heard was possible earnings blowout, something NVIDIA. And I looked at the chart. I'm like, oh, I'm interested. So long story short, what do you get? You get me. I got a trade that works every freaking day, 50, 60 times a day. I got my ear listening to the people that I know from 30 years that when they call me with an idea, it's like E.F. Hutton. I don't take anybody serious. There's a few people that I take serious. Straza, right? Dude's proved his worth 3,000 times over. And that's why Straza, if you don't know who Straza is, Steve, he was looking at all that the Andy Dufresne's, and he found a list of them. And every single one of those trades worked. Every one, even the path turned out to be a winner because they're Andy Dufresne's. And in a bull market, you want to get them before they go parabolic. And by the way, if anybody's still short the Qs right now, I'm so super proud of you. Now, before we go any further with the story, right? Why are we even having this conversation? Because yesterday somebody came into the chat room, right? And within 5 minutes, I don't get it, man. I don't hear any ideas being generated. This is bullshit. This is the worst $500 ever spent in my life. This is awful. I was like, bro, you've been here for 5 minutes. Give me a chance. You get 2 weeks. You get 2 weeks of my time. Give me 2 weeks, not 10 minutes. I will find you some winners. And then we banged out 19 winners in a row, all based on VWAP and earnings reversals. And then fast forward to today. And I don't think that person even came back the next day because they were mildly insulted that I said, hey, take it easy. I might have used some more colorful words, right? Because that's how I talk. But if you don't have at least a little bit of a thick skin, you're never going to make it as a trader, right? All right. I shouldn't even be having this conversation, but I have to. Because today, these last 48 hours have been the greatest 2 trading days in the history of ever. It's not the money. It's the amount of opportunities that have all presented themselves, and they've all been winning trades. And I'm just talking about even the donuts today, annihilating this, FLWS, destroying this stock, Beyond Meat, getting short, getting long first, getting short later, annihilating it. Now it's a short, obviously. QQQ, right? And if you guys were paying attention about 20 minutes ago, I know you guys weren't here for it. The reason I shorted the Qs in the first place was because they broke VWAP and broke prior day lows for the first time. And I had to get short because I short the Qs every day. Aren't you the guy that says the market never goes down? Yes, but I short the Qs every day. That's why I keep saying that. I have to remind myself that I'm in a bull market, that I have to cover my short. And I shorted here, went here, I took some money, and then I got stopped out. And then it became a long trade. But then it broke over the VWAP, prior day VWAP, and rolled. And I was like, ooh, what's that? That's something bearish. Ooh. And then they broke VWAP. And I didn't short them. But then they did that. They wicked over the VWAP and then rolled. What's that? That's the finger of God. Get short. Use that candle as your out. Right? And then we crushed the Q short. All the way down. And this is what you also get. Not only do you get Kenny Glick and Solid Jello, but you get our algorithmic VWAP levels. where it tells you where the market's going to go, right? And then it went to the 3-day. Yeah, let me show it to you. Hold on. We were short the Qs, and they went down to the 3. And then they broke the 3, and we thought, okay, we're going to go to the 4. And we went to the 4. That's where we were covering. And then we used the 3 as our stop, and then we had to get out again because shorting is short-lived, and you're going to die. But then 5, 15, 20 minutes later, and by the way, I hope you guys are still short AT&T. Yes, AT&T, that AT&T. The AT&T that's hitting new highs right now. I'll get to that trade in a second. But you see what the Qs just did? It's not a coincidence that it's bouncing right there. Not a coincidence. But what I cannot and I will not, when we were rallying, I had to cover my short here. I gave it a little breathing room. I had to get out there. And then we said, all right, we're probably going to get to the VWAP retrace part of the move. VWAP retrace. And then we had an anomaly print. And we're like, holy shit, are we really going to the anomaly print? But then 3 seconds after I said that, I said, wait a minute. What does that look like? What does that look like? Doesn't that look like exactly what it did over here? That is doing that. So now, when it couldn't get over VWAP, couldn't get over VWAP, short him again. Short him again. And now the same exact trade we did from up here to here, we're doing it again. And what are you doing down here? Of course, you're covering. Look where the 5-day is. Oh! I have the rigging of the market. Do you? Because if you would like the rigging of the market, I have it. And I also have this skill. I have no life. I have no friends. And all I do is sit here. I've been here since 7:15. I haven't got up yet. All I do is drink coffee and bang out winners. That VICR trade, icing on the cake. That's just my present for knowing me and being a part of the network. What do? I bang out winners with exact entries and exact targets. So because it's a live trading environment, if you're a newbie, you'll miss some of these ideas. For instance, ASTS, when I said, that's a blow off top, friends. This stock's probably going down to 67.50. And you said, what the hell are you talking about? You just said the stock was going to go to 120. But then it had a blow off top. And we were long the stock from $39. And it went to 102. You're going to complain about the other 18 points? Don't be Jimmy. Something changed. It's called a blow off top. And when you get a blow off top, that's a trend reversal. And that happened across the entire spectrum of the market. So you could be rah-rah all day. But then the market says, hey, buddy, wake up. All that shorting that you were waiting to do, now's your chance. And when momentum on the fad stocks run out, that's sign number one. When momentum on the overly hyped other sector, otherwise known as the metals and the nuclear and the quantum, and then you realize, oh, right, all of these stocks were 9 cents 6 months ago, and they're masquerading in the 50s, and you realize, oh, dropping 20 points is really not a big deal, and then you go from loving to crushing. And all I've been saying for the last 10 days is you want to be crushing nuclear and the metals and the quantum. It's been actually only 5 days. So if you only hear, and this is the kind of point of the story, if you only hear part of the story, you just said the stock's probably going to 120. I know what I said. And I also said that at $40 a share, and it went to 102. Are you disappointed that you're not getting the other 18 points? Or are you listening to the more important part of the story? The stock just had a blow off top. It's going down. Short it. Live in the moment, and you'll always be on the right side of the trade. That's why day trading is the only thing that makes any sense to me, because I get to live in the moment. I'm not guessing. Is something happening? It is. So I'm in now. Is something happening that's forcing me to get out? Yes, then I get out. So if you're only hearing part of a story, aren't you the guy that said the stock market never goes down? I did. And it wasn't going down. And it wouldn't go down. But it's going down today, and we're playing it. And we're going to try to milk it for every damn cent it gives us. Because that little wick above the VWAP told me, oh, I could get short again now. And now you cover. And now you can't take the money from me because I'm cashing out. And I'll do the same exact trade as I did before. Short the Qs. Right there. On the rollover. 608 got us down to 605. Cover. Now you put a stop at the pivots, which is 606.11. And I'm going to let it go back to the 607.12. But right now, I don't think I got to worry. So what's my next target? It's not about that. My next target's 603.03. Why? Well, you don't need to know that. My next target's 603.03 on the way down. It's not about where it goes. That's the hope part of the trade. I hope the next $1.50 we get paid. But what I know I'm going to do is if the market U-turns, I'm going to get out right there. So it's really not about the target. If you're short something, the target's 0. You long something, your target's 1 million. It's what you're going to do on its way there. And twice today, I had a cover, and then I get short again. I had to cover, and then I get short again. Show of hands if anybody did buy VICR. Congratulations. Thank you. There'll be another one. But the VICR trade is awesome. But you had to have some balls. Owning a stock into an earnings report, congratulations. You got paid to take that risk. Personally, I didn't even do it. I took the quick money. And you're lucky because the stock probably wouldn't be up 24% if I owned it. But I could come in the next day and short 100,000 shares of this stock and make myself $250,000. Did I do that? No. But I could because the trade presented itself liquid. I could have shorted as many shares as I wanted. Went with 3,000 shares 3 different times. With 0 risk. Now, why do I say 0 risk? Because my risks were basically 12 cents. So if I'm doing 5,000 shares, what's 5,000 times 12? $600. $600 risk, you wound up making what? The original entry, well, I was a little late on this one because I didn't get printed, but then I got printed. So short around 728, 731. And at the time, we were risking about 12 cents. 5,000 shares, $600. Look what the stock did. No risk, no overnight risk, no worrying about earnings, no worry about analysts or anything. You just crush. Because 9 out of 10 stocks, especially in 2025, are garbage. No, I would say 99 out of I would say 999 out of 1,000 stocks this year, absolute 100% dog shit. And they're going to 0. USAR and Rigatoni is included. They're fun while they're working. The fad stocks, you love them. The whole market is basically AMC and GameStop. 2025, the year of the short squeeze. But there has to be a moment where there's the comeuppance, the rug pulls. That's where I come in. I'm no fool. I know FLWS is a worthless company. I know Beyond Meat's going to 0. And I certainly know Open is going to 0. But how many times do we trade this stock on the long side? Because it's awesome. And that's trading. And that's why I keep talking, right? So coincidentally, look, this is setting up as a long trade right now. Well, you just said it's going to zero. I know. Inevitably, it's going to zero. But you know how many times we've traded this on the long side in the last 6 weeks? About 1,000 times. I've also shorted it probably 800 times because it's a great stock to trade. So, keeping with the theme of if you only hear part of the story, you're going to lose money. If you're trading because of what I'm saying, yeah, sure. VICR, great. You held it, blah, blah, blah. It worked. But intraday trading, quite often, we are on the long trade, then we get out and possibly go short. Because Beyond Meat is the example. And I'd be short right now, but they took my borrow away. I don't know what happened. Ladies and gentlemen, what the hell are we doing with our lives here? If you're not trading blue lines and orange lines, you're doing this completely wrong. Look, there's the rigging of the market. Did it go to the orange line from the blue? Exactly to the orange, and that's where it stopped, and now it's been halted probably? These are not coincidences, my friends. The market is rigged. Kenny Glick and Joseph Steele have the rigging. And if you come and enjoy what we do, if you hear us sing the gospel of VWAP each morning and each afternoon and each night, because we never stop, don't be that person who came into my chat room yesterday and within 10 minutes was absolutely disgusted with me. You have no idea what you're doing. I don't hear anything. I don't see. This is the worst place. I want my money back. You suck. 10 minutes in. And since that 10 minutes, we've had literally 80 trades that have worked. Probably 79 of them have worked. So don't judge. Learn. Don't condemn. Learn. Make an informed decision, not an uneducated decision. You come to my chat room and you see these trades don't work, man, this guy's full of shit. I want my money back. Take it. I'll personally bring it to you in cash. If you're ever in my chat room, we don't get at least 1 minute multi-day VWAP trade that's worked. So since that little blow up, and I think we made up, I'm not sure. I think the person still wanted their money back because they were insulted. I think they think I called them stupid. By the way, I call myself stupid so many times that it slips. And if you're insulted by saying, hey, look, if you're not covering VWAP here, you're stupid. You are. I'm talking about myself, right? Like, for instance, this USAR trade. Right? What do you think I did here? Right? You guys see it, right? 1 minute. I'm sorry. Fake them out, shake them out, VWAP break. Where do you think I'm buying? Right there. $25.18. Stock rips to 26. I'm selling a little bit here, a little bit here, a little bit here. And then it rolls over. And what happens at VWAP? I am a slave. I obey. You're breaking VWAP? Not with me still in it. Bye-bye. So later that day, when somebody says, hey, man, that USAR trade wasn't even good, man. That kind of sucked. And I say, what are you? And I might say, what are you, dumb? What are you talking about? Not only is it a good long trade, but it gave you exactly why to get out. And then it became a short. So if you're insulted by that little comment, yay, you're going to be insulted by me. I'm a little off-putting sometimes, right? But it's generally I'm talking to myself. I'm reminding myself, don't be stupid. Don't fight the blue line. And even going back just 2-3 weeks ago, somebody actually sent me an email. He's like, but I thought you said the stock was going to 50. Oh, Jimmy. I could give Jimmy a stock at $13. Ask Sid where he sold it. And that's what I want to do next week, 2 weeks from now. Guys like Sid, who've been in my chat room for 2-3 years. Guys who've been in my chat room for 5 days. Guys who've been in my chat room for 50 days, 100 days. I want you guys live to talk about what you've experienced. Because it is too good to be true. It is what we've been doing lately. It's too good to be true, but it's true. And you have to see it for yourself. So instead of me doing a slideshow where here's what we did here, here's what we did here, here's what we did here, this is what you could have done. I don't want to do that anymore. I want to hear real stories. I want to hear real stories. I want to hear that story and I love that story. My favorite story, my favorite comment starts with an insult, right? And most people do insult me, and I take it. Man, I thought you were just some schmuck on the internet. I know. So did I. And then I came to your chat room and you banged out 4 winners while I was sitting there in a half an hour. Pretty impressive. So I came back the next day and you did it again. I know. I am a schmuck on the internet. I am crazy. I am a lunatic. I am off-putting. I often do sound pretty condescending and arrogant and conceited. It's all bullshit, people. Just come learn the trade. You'll love me. You'll love the crew. You'll love Solid Jello. And you'll never see the market any other way than our way. And then you'll see all that stuff, that negativity that one person might have got from the room yesterday. It's all about love. It's called tough love. And it's always directed at my dumb face. It's always me first. I'm yelling at me for all the dumb things I've done with my life, blowing myself up, not trading VWAP exclusively, not learning how to milk these trades, doing dumb shit. So when I see other people doing dumb shit, I get riled up because I'm living the nightmare. And by the way, this Beyond Meat short, oh my freaking God. People, I'm embarrassed to say I'm not short this time. But I went to go to borrow on it, and they didn't let me borrow it this time. Sons of bitches. So that's my story, right? And the story goes on and on and on and on and on and on and on. But here's the point I'm trying to make. There's a lot of points, right? Every word that comes out of my mouth is important, right? Because I know what I'm talking about, right? But listen closely. I've done a number, just, you can't imagine the dumb shit that I've done. And if you'd like to read about it, I got a book for you here. Yeah, I'm being serious right now. If anybody wants to read a book about dumb shit, here it is. So if you come to my website, it's called Failed Traders. It's the greatest book ever written about trading in the history of trading. And I'm not joking. And I'll give it to you for free. Because in that book, it talks about all the mistakes that most traders make. And if you come to my website, I'll give it to you for free. And I hope to see you tomorrow night for our wonderful Thursday night event, where I'm going to give you the levels where the market's going to crash to on Monday. Do you really think the market's going to crash on Monday? I do. Because everybody the other day got bullish again. Everything I've ever learned about the market's telling me that this market is going to go down big in the next 5 days. I could be wrong, which I usually am, but right now the market's telling me I'm onto something. You know why? Because do you remember the conversation we had a couple of days ago, weeks ago? First they come for the pawns and the knights and the bishops. Who's the king? The king is in the back. The QQQ is the king. So first they're going to come for what? The soldiers and the Irish. Send them the Irish. It's my island, right? So they get annihilated. So what stocks were those? That's the quantum. Quantum had the first blow off top. Then the space stocks like ASTS blow off top. And then the new fad, metals. Some of these stocks are up 2,700% in a week. They're all garbage. That lost momentum. So when the fads lose momentum and the hyped up stocks lose momentum and you get blow off tops across the board, usually that translates into an overall market event, which is why I've been shorting the Qs today a little bit more aggressively, And I do think we're going to get a little bit more. But look. If you're using discipline, they're coming for us right now. And if you're also losing discipline, wait. Do you remember the 5-day VWAP? Got to the 5, and then look where you overshot to. Again, it's just a coincidence, right? You got a $605 stock, one of the most popular ETFs on the face of the planet, right? And it just coincidentally, just a coincidence, that the bottom tick is at a half number. Yeah, just a coincidence, not a coincidence. Just a coincidence, not a coincidence. The market's rigged. So now, what do you do now? Well, if you're like me and you have a tighter stop on, you just got stopped out of some, which I am. Bye-bye. There it goes. I'm getting out. I'm letting it breathe a little bit more because I'm in at a good price again. But every time the market pulls back, there's a point where you have to understand shorting is short-lived and they're going to die. So we put tight stops on. We just got paid handsomely. And we just got to a whole number, half number area and a 5-day VWAP. Most of this trade is over. And when you trade exclusively around VWAP, you know getting down to a 5-day, it's a big move. You know what I'm saying? Wow, crazy. That's a good song to be on right now. Because what's happening now? All right, before we get on the Lido deck and start playing shuffleboard, tell me somebody's bought the Mattel today, right? Tell me somebody's bought the Mattel. Somebody tell me you're still short the Beyond Meat. Make me feel better. But tell me somebody traded Texas Instruments. Let me get a show of hands. Texas Instruments, AT&T, Mattel, and Netflix, right? Can I get an amen from the guy in the back? Right? And here you got yourself a 1-minute multi-day VWAP reversal trade. And now you should be saying, is it too late to buy this stock? Probably not, as a matter of fact, but you're coming in late. But let me show you the ways. So why are we looking at Mattel? Guy in the back. By the way, this is what we're going to do on my Saturday session. Okay? When the market's closed, it's a lot easier to do this. I try to do this live, which makes it difficult, right? Because I'm trying to trade and teach and talk and work my orders. And sometimes I forget to make sure I'm closing my own trades. See, you fucking idiot. All right. I still got 200 Q short. 607.51 I'm giving it. Just giving it another buck. All right. So let's walk through the steps like we're at an AA meeting, right? Guy in the back, you paying attention? Guy who says I never give any trades? You paying attention this time? Oh, I'm going to talk real slow. The Saturday session, no, it's members only, or we'll probably charge a couple of $100 if you guys want to hang. It's too valuable information. So here's the trade. Last night, Mattel reports earnings, right? What does Mattel do? Who cares, right? They make Barbie, right? Some Matchbox cars, right? Mattel, I don't even know what Mattel does. Is that DC or Marvel? Mattel, what's the other one? Hasbro. Who cares, right? Nobody matters. As soon as the numbers come out, nobody cares. Now you're just trading because they reported earnings. One of the most popular toy companies on the planet, earnings report in a very volatile moment. Where does it go to? Goes right to the half number. Hey, it's just a coincidence. No, it's not a coincidence. The market's rigged. It bounces. Where does it bounce to? Right back to the prior day VWAP. Yeah, it's just a coincidence. It's not a coincidence. The market's rigged. So now that you got some of the motion yesterday. So you came into May, right? You came in today and you said, all right, we're trading Mattel, right, Kenny? Certainly are. Cool. What are we doing? Well, is it gap down? Yes. What do you think we're going to be doing? Buying it. Okay. When? Well, there's this thing called the faux show bro. And if it happens on the earnings report and then it breaks VWAP, then you buy it. You're still looking at me? Look at the chart. Let me count the ways. Well, let's start with this conversation. This trade hasn't provided a winning trade. Wait, sorry, that's a double negative. I don't want to confuse anybody. This trade has provided a winning trade every single time. Sorry, just sort of hitting my random selector. This song's still jumping to me. I'm sorry. You know the lyrics. I don't want to lose this good thing. Nothing's better than VWAP. I love it. So the trade, right? So I'm going to try not to use foul language here, right? If you think I'm kidding, right? We started a new streak because when I say 1,143 trades in a row, people are like, what the hell are you talking about? Now it's 1,149 in a row, but we started our new streak 2 weeks ago. We're 27 for 27. So, by the way, the QQQ short is over, right? God damn it. You see, I don't want to be disciplined. I want to just short the market and have it crash. It never does. Now I've made money short the Qs 3 times today and good money. But each time the last 20%, I'm getting stopped out on the way up. It is what it is. All right, let's talk about this Mattel trade, right? Q short's over now. I could always revisit one day, today, maybe, I don't know, if we do it, I don't know, 3 times in one day, 4 times in one day. For now, I've just covered the last of it. Okay, now I'm flat again. Joey flat again. Let's talk about this Mattel trade. Oh, so good. I've got a trade that works every single time. It's been working unbelievably since we discovered it, right? The earnings reversals have been working since the 90s. When I started using VWAP exclusively with the earnings reversals, it's working every time now. It's getting me in at a better price. So what is that? What is that trade? It's called the faux show bro VWAP break on an earnings report to the arms line. When I say this is too hard to believe, when I say this is too good to be true, Look at my face. How is this working every time? I don't know. The trade works every time. I don't get it. It's bewildering, flabbergasting. But they keep working. So you have to keep taking the trade, right? So you came in. Let's go through the steps, my friend who says I don't give calls. We said Mattel. We talked about it last night. We saw it get hammered. And then we said, oh, Mattel, you know we're buying that tomorrow because the market never goes down, just like Texas Instruments. But Mattel, even better. Why? Cheap. Some people don't want to trade $82 stocks or $100,000 stocks. They want something nice and cheap where you can trade the stock and you can trade the options as well. But this is it right here. This is like the PM trade in the Pulte yesterday. So go through the steps. Did they report earnings? Yes. Is it gap down? Yes. Are we in a bull market? Yes. Does the market ever go down? No. So what are we looking to do? Buy it. Okay, when? After it foes and shows. Why? Because the fake out shakeout under VWAP gets the long trader from the pre-market out, and the moronic short, you see, this is about me, the moronic short, me, I'm the moron that thinks stocks could actually go down. The moron shorts here at the low, thinking, oh man, this thing's about to tank. Oh, it's going to go right back to $14. Yeah, good luck with that. Good luck with that. And then it turns. Now, why wasn't I shorting down here? Because I've learned my lesson. I ain't shorting stocks that have gapped down that reported earnings. And if it would have broke 17, good. Let somebody else make that trade. I'm not in. I'm not involved. I don't care. I know the market never goes down. I want to victimize my former self, the guy that was shorting here at 17. You got double bottomed. Aha. Fake them out, shake out. I'm a buyer at 1732, using now that lovely 32 cents as my stop because it's a double bottom hole number. And what do you think my target was? Did it go to the orange line? Not only did it go to the orange line, it went to the orange line. We call it the kiss from underneath. Hello. And then it didn't want to break. So we say, hey, 1732 to 1825, have a nice day. Sold, right? And then you put a stop on at 18. Oh, and they get you. But then you say, wait a second. What if it breaks the prior day VWAP? You're like, oh man, I just sold this thing. Well, as my wife would say, do you still think it's going to go higher? Yeah. I just sold it. I don't really want to buy it back. Do you think it's going to go higher? Yes. Then buy it back. Well, I don't want to buy it back. I just sold it. Do you think it's going higher? Yes. Well, then buy it back. Well, I don't want to buy it back. I just sold it. You see the dilemma? Listen to my wife. If you still think it's going to go higher, then buy it back. And then it breaks prior day VWAP. And you're like, oh. And then it tests it from on top. So in these little moments here, the jiggles or the shuffles, it's giving you another chance to say, all right, maybe 18 was too tight of a stop. Okay, I'll buy it back. And then you get the full-blown reversal, and you turn what this trade was already beautiful from 1736 to 18. Wonderful trade. And then the re-enter, pretty damn good as well. And that's just one trade. Now, for my option traders, right? And this is why I'm hiring, and I'm not joking, I'm hiring people. Please help me. Because while Mattel's doing that and I'm trading my measly 600 shares of it, goofing around to keep my energy level up, yay, making some money, good. I want you to be annihilating it and getting me in to the closest to the money, closest to expiration. So what did you choose? You only had one choice. $17 calls for November. Not much of a choice, but that choice was at 95 cents, and they went to $2. Not a lot of volume. It's a very illiquid contract. Didn't do the trade, but I'm just saying, every one of these trades that I do, there's always an option coinciding with them. And generally, you want to go where there is weekly, not monthlies, because the weeklies are going to be cheaper, usually more liquid. But again, wonderful trade of Mattel. And then you had Texas Instruments, right? Let's review this one again. Oh, man. It's been all right, Johnny. Okay, so, and this is what we do at the Schmooze on Thursday nights. When there's earnings reports coming out, we talk about what we're going to do the night before, and then when those things get validated by VWAP, that's when we act. So last night, and I see V-Wave hitting new highs. Don't sell it. 15. Hold on. Go for gold. All-time highs. Stocks that break all-time highs that break 1250 go to 15. Hold it. Hold it. Now, let's talk about Texas Instruments. Texas Instruments surprisingly went down. Stocks don't go down in this market. I know. So when I saw it go down and not rebound last night, what do you think I was thinking? Oh, I can't wait to short the stock tomorrow. What are you, nuts? You're not shorting stocks when they're already down. Like the people that were talking about shorting Carvana at $8. Remember that moment? You guys know what I'm talking about, right? Some of you do. You come in looking to buy it. Why? They reported earnings. 2, it's gapped down. 3, we're in a bull market. 4, market never goes down. Okay, you got all that under advisement. And you come in today. Oh, man, it already broke VWAP. All right, don't worry about it. It's pre-market. They'll probably chop it around. Just wait for the faux show bro VWAP break near the open. You think it's a coincidence now? The market's trying to inflict the most damage onto people, right? Let me get rid of the red lines. It's a brand new day. So what are they trying to do? They're trying to inflict the most damage. And how do they do that? By faux showing you. Breaking the low, and then coming right back, and then breaking VWAP. What's that, my friends? So now you got the checklist of success, right? All right, they reported earnings. It's gapped down. We're in a bull market. And they did the faux show, and they're breaking VWAP. You're a buyer. And you immediately got paid. Oh, Kenny, man, I couldn't react that quickly at the open. All right, cool. How about a double faux right there? Faux show and another chance at it. And then just for good measure, they faux show it one more time just to say, here, buddy, here. I'll give you 3 chances to get into the same stock. Do it. And on that one, I finally got involved because I missed it here, I missed it here, and I missed it here. And I bought 167.50 break. VWAP break, half number break. 167 gets you. Well, now what does 167 get you? Where's my traders? What does 167 get you on the break? Come on. Get you 170. Whee! 170. And then you say, wait a second, Kenny, don't you say that if we can get through the blue line, we tend to go to the orange line? I do say that. I say that a lot. You know what else I say? I say don't sell your entire position at one price. So even if you sold some at 170, you weren't selling the whole thing at one price, were you? No. Now you're using VWAP as a trailing stop looking for the 172.50. Look what you got. 172.50. Now, there's the end of the trade for me. I'm not in it anymore, but fun times. Another winner, another faux show, bro. 1 minute VWAP break for a winning trade. It's fantastic. By the way, if you guys do want this book, come tomorrow to the schmooze. I will give it to you. Or you could just buy it on, if you have internet. If you have a Kindle or an Amazon, I believe it's free for the unlimited people. All of your favorite traders are Dennis Dick. Everybody knows Dennis Dick. Failed Traders is unlike any other trading book on the market. Jeff points out the 20 common, yes, you know Baron, Elite Trader, you know these guys. There's Joel, you know Jesse. Where's me? Hey. I thought I was on the homepage. I'm in the book too. Because I'm a failed trader. I've made every mistake in this book. I've made all 20 and then some. And reading it and seeing it in black and white, it really does help. And I'll give it to you for free because I'm a nice guy. So you got you got a Vicker trade at 58, trading at 84, and a free book. So, we had this, keep this conversation going about the guy that, or person that, came to the room, stayed 10 minutes, wasn't completely amazed in the first 10 minutes, said something, I said something back, and I don't know if that person's back or not, probably not going to come back. And it's their loss. But I don't want one person to go through that. Nobody should have. Nope. First of all, don't come to our chat room for 10 minutes and make a judgment and miss out on the greatness of that we do here. Because it is great. And it's not about me. It's about, I understand more about this trade because I developed it. But it's about you understanding. It's about you guys putting it to use. Because man, oh man, some of these trades, like this AT&T, it's a beautiful trade. It's a beautiful thing. This FLWS is just, it's comical. This is my favorite trade of the year right now, just because I love shorting stocks because I'm a bear and most stocks are garbage. But I'm trapped in a market where it doesn't really go down. So when I get an event, when I get the VWAP giving me permission to crush these stocks right back into their dumb Reddit faces or wherever these people were buying this stock. And look, they got paid. I mean, I saw the stock on the message boards a couple of days also. I mean, look at this move. But I'm the guy I'm waiting there with the sword of reality to cut your head off. You guys know who Tim Sykes is, right? Whether you have a strong opinion of him or not, it's actually a nice dude. And I can never fault the guy because his first business model was to short pump and dumps because every stock is a pump and dump pretty much, especially in the penny stock world. The reason his business model was flawed is that you really couldn't get a short off with any size on some of those stocks. It was an illusion that you could make money. But the premise is pump. Nobody knows when to dump. We know when to dump. Not only do we know when to dump, but we know when to dump and go short and crush the people that don't know what they're doing. It's my favorite trade of the year right here. And that's why I open, right? Remember I said the stock's inevitably going to zero, but it just set up as a long trade. And you can make some money right this second. What, 640 got you what? It wasn't that great of a trade. 20 cents, whatever. I mean, $6 stock, 20 cents. Typical day trade. But as we navigate this market, nobody navigates the market better than we do. It's impossible because we are the market. Trading VWAP, you are the market. You don't have to beat the market. You are the market. We are the market. And all you got to do is stay vigilant and accept that. right? So when you hear, hey, this NVTS is rocking, it's probably going to 22 bucks. We've been talking about it since 4. So if you finally got in at 17, you're like, oh man, this stock stinks. Well, it kind of had, well, it wasn't an official blow off top, but that day it actually closed weak. And then you get your 2 down days, just like ASTS. And this market environment that we're in right now is super bullish. But it looks like we're going down. Nope. It's consolidating. This is a very healthy market. You got the fad stocks that are up 25,000% across the board. They're getting their 40% haircuts. That's healthy. Some of these stocks will hold support and rally again. Some will break down and go to zero. What you're experiencing right now in these last 4 or 5 days where the momentum has run out of the market is healthy. Now we have bullish consolidation. If we consolidate and we break down, then it's bearish. But generally, we keep consolidating and what? We go up. So to me, this is still super, super bullish. It's bullish that we are trading with some rational thought. And rational thought states blow off top, downtrend begins, where's downtrends happen? Downtrends try to find recent breakouts. And that's why I've been telling you to short the shit out of this stock till it gets to around $34. You're $1.80 away. And if you don't know about RGTZ, now you know. Because you could short these stocks by buying these reverse ETFs. And we were buying this thing. And again, full disclosure, I'm not in it. I blew this trade. Mortified because I was all on this one from the first pivot. I got out. And, whatever. It's every trade. There's always another trade, right? You missed 20 points on a rigatoni short. Next thing you know, you got VICR going up 40 points. But right now, it's the Q short, right? All those trades that I missed today, and every trade I've done wrong in my life today, crushing the shorts on the Qs is what I'm all about today. Finally, getting paid on every time I short the Qs. Not in it this time. And here's another, I'm going to go. Here's another tidbit of advice. UVXY, right? First thing I talked about this morning. If it's going up while the market's going down, then you have a lot of reason to stay short. UVXY now has come back and went to the lows of the day. If UVXY is above 11 bucks, you better be shorting something. If UVXY is above the high of the day, anytime today, the market will not have. And again, let's say it's 315 and UVXY is near the highs of the day. Chances are we're not going to rally into the close, even though we seem to rally into the close every day. So UVXY is very important, especially now that you're getting some weakness. If UVXY continues its descent to the downside, this whole entire pullback in the market is super temporary, which it probably is. But if UVXY rallies now and it breaks the highs of the day, let alone today's highs, but if it actually gets something going and you're breaking yesterday's highs, then you better be looking to stay short the Qs or whatever you got. And right now at 12:13 on a Wednesday afternoon, we have conquered this day. No losses. The only mistakes I made were cashing out too early, but that's generally my number one problem. But you know what? Got no problem with that. And here's where we're at. And then we'll do it again tomorrow. And there'll be 5 other stocks that we trade on earnings reports. We'll even go back to some of the names we traded today. If you're not watching GSIT, a lot of fun. 3 days now, 4 days, it's still in play. Obviously, Beyond Meat will probably be now in play for the next several days. FLWS, even though it's got destroyed, you keep an eye on it. Donut. And what you do each day is you add new ones to your fave list, then you kick some other ones out, and then you got earnings, and then you have stocks in the news. And that's why the idea that there's a scanner, and I say this a lot, there's no scanner out there scanning the entire market for the best ideas of the day. The best ideas of the day, the stocks that are already having a moment. Just stick with those. Earnings reports and stocks that are in the news and trade around VWAP. That's it. So there was a company called Trade Ideas. You guys know about them? I bought their scanner. $600 a month they wanted for it. And I was like, all right, cool. Let me see what this thing does. And it spat out a whole bunch of stuff. And I was like, how the hell I don't need this many ideas. Who needs this many ideas? For $600 a month, you gotta narrow down your parameters for less ideas. All right, narrowed it down, looking for stocks that are gap down, breaking highs. I put all the parameters in, thing kept spitting out. All you need is 3 trades a day. And quite often it's the same stock. I mean, I trade FLWS 3 times. I wish I would have done 4 times, but all 3 times I made money. And that 4th one was the doozy. And I missed out on that part, but got paid. Anybody have any questions before I go? Does anybody need to know what's going on tomorrow night? Schmooze. I trade the stock, but what I'm trying to show you is that every one of these trades is optionable, because most of the stocks we trade are legitimate stocks. They all have options. So the first choice you want to go is at the money, weekly options. So for instance, AT&T, $25 call. Even the 2450s, I wouldn't mind, but the 25s, right? This little tiny trade, right? You're paying a 28-cent contract. Maybe you chased it 31. You guys know how to do math, right? 31, 66. 31, 66. Just on this tiny little trade here. You know what that is? 100% in 8 minutes. I remember when it took you about 5.5 years to double your money in the stock market. Now, with 0-date options and weekly options and VWAP trading, you're finding 100% gains. That's the start. Doing 100% on an option trade, that's the appetizer in this market. So if you're only trading options, awesome. Trade the earnings reversals with the options, and then I will hire you. Because like I keep saying, as I'm taking these trades and I'm doing stack, because I like trading stock. They're right in front of me. I could click, I could point, I could click, I could point, I could do my trades. Option trades, I need another set of hands, another set of eyeballs. So what I want to have happen, and I'm going to start interviewing tomorrow. We got a couple of people that are trying right now. All I want you to do is sit in the chat room. You'll have your list of stocks. Today was Netflix, Mattel, AT&T, and then I gave a couple of extra ones today, one FLWS and Flawless and Beyond Meat and Donut were in place, so we kind of looked at those. You will have your go-to names every day, and you'll have the best of the best go-to names because I know which ones are the best. No scanner needed. I'm your scanner. Oh, you guys know my secret identity, right? I don't have to tell you again, right? Does anybody not know my secret identity? Well, I'll unveil it one more time. Hold on. The reason you don't need a scanner is because I am Scan Man. Scan Man. I have the scanners that you need. I have everything you need. And your job, and wait, I'm hearing good reports. Wait a second, I got to read this person's comment. Thank you very much. That's the greatest thing I've seen all day. Hang on. Kenny, can I use your? I'll just say CT just wrote, Kenny, newbie to the room here. Just want to let you know the PM yesterday, the VICR, and the Beyond easily paid for my yearly subscription, and this is only his third day here. If you come to the room, please give me more than 5 minutes to make your judgment. Give me at least an hour. Well, then again, I say, give me 2 weeks. Or as 10-10 Wins used to say, give me 22 minutes. I'll give you the world? Or what was I saying? Give me 22 minutes. We'll give us 22 minutes. We'll give you the world. Within 22 minutes of today, you knew these trades were freaking awesome, right? No diggity. And you guys, you understand, right? What we used to do, me and Solid would do this, we would do for an hour and a half, and then we'd just go do our thing. Now, I'm here all day. I used to, go play pickleball in the middle of the day. I haven't gone out. Got a busted toe. So all my physical ailments are your benefit. My lack of friends and life is your benefit. And what really is your benefit is how awful I've traded in the past. I will not allow that to happen to you. And if you're insulted when I say, yo, what the fuck are you doing, you dummy? Hey, who are you talking to? I'm talking to you. It's okay. We're adults here. Hey, that's insulting. Well, you want to lose money or you want to be insulted? Wait, you want to be insulted or you want to lose? Hey, yeah. You know the choice. The choice is clear. Don't be afraid of language. And also, before we go, I know I say that a lot. If anybody really wants to insult me, do it with some class. You want to try to get under my skin, you want to try to make me feel bad, right? You want to make some misinformed judgment about us. This is how you do it. You ready? As Rufus wrote in 2008, apparently not impressed with me and Solid. Well, more me, because Solid was just still a member at the time. He writes, you intellectually devoid Neanderthal. You are an immoderately dejune and inordinately puerile imbecile. Nothing more than a pathetic charlatan and profligate villain purporting to be a clairvoyant and to possessing peerless business acumen. Why charge for a chat room, you parsimonious dolt? Can't you comprehend that you're not funny and your supposed métier, I had to look that one up for sure, your supposed métier as a trader is incredulously apocryphal and dubious? Let me read that one again. Can't you comprehend that you're not funny? That hurt. That was the part that really hurt. Ooh. Can't you comprehend that you're not funny and your supposed métier as a trader is incredulously apocryphal and dubious? And then he closes strong with, vapid fool, be gone. That's how you do it. But you want to judge me? Judge me on my losers, because there are so few. Pick up 10,000 shares, Mr. Jones. You want to judge me? And by the way, you can insult me all you want. If anybody comes into my chat room and insults Solid Jello, then you're going to have a fight on your hands. We had one guy. I know where he lives, and I'm not going to let him live it down. Guy came into our room talking some smack about Solid. You could say anything you want about me. I could take it to some extent. Nobody insults Solid. Nobody puts Solid in a corner. The guy, he'll be your hero once you get to meet him. I'm good. This guy has now become, he's epic, otherworldly, spiritual. And he's taken all this stuff that we've been doing for the last 10 years, and he just sits here writing scripts to make it easier and easier and giving the calculated moves. And it's so damn algorithmic that you just have to accept that the market is rigged. We prove it, and he certainly proves it. And we got some big plans for this stuff. We're going to unleash this algo one day. And it ain't just going to be some alert. It's going to do all the trading for us, and we're all going to get paid. Forget about selling it. I ain't selling it. And then don't forget, take some of your Vicker money, take some of your Mattel. My coin is coming out. Now that the whole, apparently, I don't even know, the crypto market had some sort of crash. Did it? I don't even pay attention to that shit. Did it? Who knows? I don't care. My coin is going to be awesome because you're going to have everything you need. Limited supply, massive demand, intrinsic value, ease of use, and it's going to be freaking awesome. And everywhere I go, we're going to get t-shirts. We're going to hit Vegas. Everyone's going to want this thing. Hopefully 1000x. I'll take 2x, but I'll dream big. All right. We'll talk more about that Thursday. If you guys have made some money today, give it up. And if anybody wants to be part of my seminar next week, or 2 weeks from now, I'd like to be, if you did some of these trades, let us know. I appreciate everybody who's been showing up. Thank you very much. And I hope you guys are making money. And I hope you're realizing how rigged this market truly is. And yeah, I'll see you when I see you. Wait, I got some questions. Wait a second. I see some answers. I want to answer your question. Is it common that many go up in the pre-market and go down at the open? You're not sure why that happens? I'll tell you why it happens. Most stocks are pump and dump garbage stocks. And this year was the year of the pump and dump. We've had other years where we've had pump and dumps, right? But I've never seen it as the number one trade of the year. I mean, the earnings reversals are great. And owning the Qs have been awesome these last 6 months. I've never seen in my 30 years of doing this a year where 9 out of the 10 best trades of the year have just been on absolutely worthless. Just going even back to the Wolf trade, WLF. And again, you don't see it here, but they basically announced bankruptcy, right? So the stock was already in a downtrend, but they announced bankruptcy and the stock went nuts. That makes no sense. And then it finally crashed, right? And then they reiterated that they were going bankrupt, and the stock went from 39 cents to, that's a 10 bagger. Stock went up 1,000%. Didn't they just say they were going out of business? Yeah, I guess we have to buy the stock. Makes no sense. And that's been the market, right? And again, that's a split adjusted price. But going back to stocks like RGTI and why I said it's time to get the hell out and go short, because this is a stock that was $1, right? We were hip to this stock before everybody. And yeah, we did all right. Worst call spread of my life. I had a 5.7 call spread. I got stopped out of a huge amount of it, 10,000 at 100 contracts. Worst 2,500 bucks I've ever made. Sorry, 3,500 bucks. I left almost 25,000 on the table in that trade. And then they crashed. But then they went sideways. And that's the Andy Dufresne. So the stock had a 200% move, sorry, 2,000% move, and then it crashed and then went sideways. And then when it came out of the Andy Dufresne, I was like, listen, this stock's going to breast out and probably go to 50 bucks because a year-long consolidation break through 20 all-time high, you're going to 50. What? No way this stock's going to 50. Uh-huh. And then at 50, I'm like, all right, enough is enough. Let's start looking to short it. Oh my God, 52.50. Oh my God, 55. Oh my God, blow off top. Now's the time to short it. Kill it. And where the stocks retrace back to? Significant areas of where they broke out from. And that's why I've been a passionate. So, and if you heard or if you've seen me on Yahoo Finance, but you're the guy that said the stock was going to 50. And it did. And now it's over. And my real personality, who wants to crush all these stocks, now you know why I'm a bear. For these moments where Jamie Dimon finally is talking about quantum here. I'm like, oh my God. Did JP Morgan say they like quantum stocks now? Oh, any day now. Any day we're going to crash. Bang! 2 days later, everyone's getting annihilated. Look at UVXY, right? I can't leave. I'm going to get a drink because the market is going down. And if you guys shorted this fourth time, what did I say? 60303. I just wanted to make sure everybody was safe in the other room. I'm holding the bulls captive in my living room. You're never leaving. You're trapped. Oh, I know. I got triggered. Oh, I know what's happening. What the hell's going on right now? Why did my P&L go the other way? Holy shit, they opened the spread up $1.20 on these contracts that I'm in. What the fuck is going on here? What the hell's going on? Why is there a 2-point spread? Shit. I should go back in the other room. All right, I'm covering at 60303. Covered 60303. I didn't cover on the way down. I just covered now. All right, I'm not covering anymore. These options, I'm trading deep in the money contracts right now, and they just opened up to a 2-point spread. All right, 60303. All right, at least we got some done there. Now, why 60303? 60303 was a very significant spot from about 10 days ago. Just nailed that. There it is. And that was one of my targets, and didn't think we were getting there. All right, done. So now, let me see. Let's go take a look at where 20 days worth of VWAP is. Yeah, we just got there. Look at that. We wicked out down there. I'm going to go ahead and say that's the end of it. That's the end of it. That was the capitulation for the day. I hope I'm wrong, but I just covered 603.03 because that was one of my targets. I almost missed it. But you see what happened with UVXY? Accelerating. Next thing you know, you got a sell-off. But still, you got to cover. All right, so that was awesome. I thought we were going to get there today, and it just happened, and it's already over. Damn it. But you see the correlation with UVXY? UVXY comes back, you short something. Now, if UVXY, for some reason, stays strong for the rest of the day, and I mean just stays green, then you got to think there's more selling to happen later. If UVXY starts to break new highs again, so now that it's spiked and came in, right? Whoa. UVXY above 1144, not just today, tomorrow or Friday, there's more selling that needs to be done. So now that you have a spike high, if you break that high, all hell is going to be breaking loose. And like I said, they're going to come for the king eventually, right? We're annihilating everything underneath. It's going to give way. Destroying the quantums, kill the metals, destroy the nuclear stocks. Next, we got to get the chips. The chips are getting slammed now. Space rockets, robots, quantum, AI chips, nuclear, right? That was 2025 and every pump and dump on the planet. When those start to give up their momentum, the next phase is for the market to finally give it up. And that's why I'm very passionate about being short the Qs over the last couple of days. And it hasn't really worked. Had to revisit 4 times today. So now that I'm stuck here, let's talk a little bit more about the pump and dumps, right? So why are they so strong in the pre-market and then they give it back? The reason they're strong in the pre-market is that it's a lack of liquidity in the pre-market. So the squeeze is when you have a lot of volume pre-market, they're more susceptible to being squeezed. Then the real players show up, like me, who know this thing's a pump and dump, who trade VWAP, who trade prior day VWAP, and who are looking to crush the stocks. So as a professional shorter, I sit there going, you guys have your fun. I'll get my chance. Oh, VWAP, there's my chance. Short it. And I crush you. Most pump and dumps are exactly like that. But here's the fun part, 2025, if the pump gets dumped and holds a prior day VWAP and then breaks back over the VWAP, you're going to get pumped again, and then you can go long. But generally, what you're looking at here on FLWS, that is why I like to short. That's why I like to short, because most stocks are pump and dumps, but the market never goes down. See, that's the part that's hard for the layman, and that's not an insulting term, layman, someone who doesn't know about this stuff yet. I'm teaching you. Most stocks suck. Most stocks are FLWS and GoPro and Yeti, and they have their moment, and then it's time for them to go back to where they came from and inevitably go to zero because most stocks stink. But the market never goes down. How is that even possible? Because the market only is a certain amount of group of stocks. The NASDAQ 100 is 100 stocks. So if 97 of them are doing awesomely and they're keeping the shell game going, the smoke and mirrors game of a market that never goes down, right? You following where I'm going, right? So there's let's say there's 92 stocks and there's 8 that are lagging. You know what they do to those 8? They kill them. They kick them out of the club. Bait it. They put 8 stocks that are doing better to keep the virtual idea that the market never goes down. And it's real. It's reality. The market never goes down because they alter it. And then they put new stocks into the index, which the money managers are now required to buy. That's why when people hear about the additions and subtractions from the ETFs, it's important because now the funds have to buy the stock because it's part of the ETF. So the market could go down. Stocks go down. Most stocks stink, but the market, you're lucky we got this sell-off in the first place today. But now that we got more than we wanted, got stopped out 603.03, done again. If we can revisit one more time, maybe we do it one more time. But that looks like a V bottom, right? That V bottom. Usually the V bottom is the end of the day for the short. We'll see. But it doesn't matter because today at 12:40 on October 22nd, we won. You ain't taking this money from me. You ain't taking my flowers money away. You ain't taking my QQQ short money away. You ain't taking my UUU, my USAR trades away. They're already booked. I could skedaddle here and wait for the next trade, which either is going to be later today or here's what I'm going to tell you. Today's lows, right? Remember how important 609.50 was? Tomorrow, 601.26 is going to be the equal to the 609.50. Because if this is the low of the day, momentum on the way up, you know why momentum on the way up is the easiest trade in the world? Because you're buying prior high break momentum. So as a shorter, demented as it is to be a shorter in a market that never goes down, if we break prior day low, that usually creates momentum in that direction. So you've got VWAP telling you time to give it a shot, time to give it a shot. All right. And then you're breaking prior day lows. Usually momentum ensues. And now you got 15 days worth of VWAP. Look what happened when it broke the 15. And then we went down to the 20. You see how it's all rigged? So once you have multiple time frame VWAP, you'll not only know when to get in, but you'll know where your targets are and when you should be covering and possibly even going long. And then even on stocks like Beyond Meat, look at this freaking stock now. Here's the intraday. So the answer is how did it even get up to 886? It's pumping. This is just the whole market's a pumping though. You didn't think Beyond Meat's business model changed or something that this company was going to survive. It's just a squeeze. Every stock is AMC. Every stock is GME. Every stock is Enron. And my default as a trader is every stock's going to zero, except for Tesla. Hey, this guy likes Tesla. And then why do I say that? Every stock's going to zero except for Tesla, because that's how I feel. Even Microsoft, and they're probably not. Amazon's pretty big company now, probably not going to zero. But in my opinion, there's only one stock to own for the next 10 years. Well, the Qs because it's rigged to go up, but Tesla, it's the only thing Kathy Wood's going to be right about when that stock's at $3,000. You know why? Because it ain't a car company. I'll stop that conversation. Who cares about where Tesla's going to be 3 years from now, right? You guys make some money on that rollover on the Qs when UVXY spiked above 1075? And by the way, let me just talk about this V wave one more time before I go, right? If you're in this stock, you have to be up now, right? Nobody could be losing money. You bought it 2 weeks ago, last week, yesterday, today. I think the stock's going to 1561 because there was a print out of the money. And to me, I have to take these weird prints under advisement because I keep seeing it happen. So I'm thinking we're going there But if I'm wrong and you break down under these pre-market lows, if I wasn't swing trading this and I wasn't in at such a good price, I'd be absolutely dumping it if it breaks 1204. But the reason I still own this stock is this. Brand new stock, big news, consolidation, came out, broke new highs, market's weak, and this thing is staying strong. That doesn't mean 20 minutes from now it can't be down 2 points. So I never want to get anybody in trouble with my swing trade ideas. They work till they don't work. You know, you put a tight stop on, you won't have to worry about it. But I'd rather be a trader intraday than any other type of trader because you're living in the moment, right? Like rigatoni, right? Living in the moment. And that moment right now is you're covering your short because you have to. You just got the full blown, this is called the Jerry or back trade. You just gave it all back. And it breaks down tomorrow, you're going to give even more back. But 80% of what this stock was supposed to do just happened. And now you cash out. You want to hang in there with some, do it with the RGTZ. Because listen to the words that are coming out of my mouth this time. Now that they've gotten hammered, if they faux show bro tomorrow, I will be buying these stocks, calling for them to all go to 8,000 tomorrow. But weren't you just saying they were going to zero yesterday? Yes. And they all were. Today, they're not. And that is trading. Just like the Qs, right? Nothing would please me more. Now, again, let me leave you with that. I got to get out of here sooner or later, right? Nothing would please me more. Now, this is important. UVXY is under 11. So here's the trade. I'm already going to tell you what we're doing tomorrow. If UVXY is above today's highs, the Q should be breaking that 601.26. If they break 601.26, where are they going to go? They're going to go to, where's that? There it is. You have a triple freaking bottom right there. That's 596.52. So here's the if then. If UVXY is above today's highs, look to be shorting the Qs. If the Qs are breaking today's lows, they should go back to the prior major support of 606.59, 650. Enter. You're set for tomorrow. So now now what you want to have happen tomorrow is you want to see some stability. You'd like to see the market. So if you think we're going down, do you want to come in tomorrow seeing it down already? No, you want to see it up. So then we could roll, because the roll scares the shit out of people. Rolling. Right? Now we got capitulation. Well, we'll see if that holds. Usually the capitulation candles hold, because that's just like that's the last of the panicky guys finally getting taken out. So now tomorrow, if we're up in this midpoint and then we roll and break here, we're giving back another 5 or 6, and hopefully we give it all back, Jerry. And if I'm right, which I think I might be this time, finally, we're going to go flirt with the Trump lows from 2 weeks ago. And that's a pretty sick trade if we get it. Because that's another, we're talking another 40, I can't do math. It was 5. Let me show you the real print. So you don't see it on a regular chart. You got to go minute to minute. So there's the easy target. That's the double bottom. That's legitimately happened, right? And then there it is. So in the aftermarket, after Trump got done pretending that there was going to be some trade war because he was already short, and he was, because we saw the signs, UVXY was being bought, right? We knew there was something going on. Somebody was buying UVXY before the move. It was Trump. He knows he's going to tweet shit before he does it, right? He's manipulating the market right in front of us. All right, okay, whatever. People are okay with that. I'm not. But what I'm not gonna miss out on is that move right there. I can smell it. I think we need to go say hello to our old friend 58204. If we break, we're going 555. But give me 582 in the next 2 days, and everyone's getting paid. And then we're getting laid. Or maybe just getting paid. Depends if you're married or not. But we should get paid. And I'm going to crush it. And I'm going to ram the stock market right down these complacent bull market, right down their throats. Just like I did today. So you want to come in all friendly like, right? You got to come in with an edge, not just a VWAP technical analysis edge. You got to come in ready. And man, oh man, my only loss, which almost was a loss, was the Netflix long. Yeah, I went small. Again, it's a $1,500 stock. I'm not going to go crazy. But I got the foe in the show. Bought myself my 20 shares just to goof around. Next thing you know, ripping. Did you think I thought once we broke that pre-market pivot, I'm counting my chickens, baby? Look at this beautiful trade. Right here, I'm thinking, man, I'm going to make 40, 50 points on those 20 shares. Yeah. And then next thing you know, it rolls over. And then I'm like, oh no. And I sold it. Right? So you went from, yeah, all right, come out, to, oh, I got to get the hell out of this thing. And that's trading, baby. And I left, on that 20 shares, I was up, about $300. I wound up giving it all back, Jerry. But I'd rather get out flat with a tiny little, smidgen of a loss than getting hammered. That's how you stay in the biz. Small losses are bigger than big losses. Small wins are better than no wins at all. You see how quickly 2 hours goes by? And by the way, in about 2 weeks, like I said, I'm going to do another presentation, and then we're going to have an open house. And you think I'm joking around when I sit here from 8 to 8? Yeah, you'll see. I legitimately stayed here from basically 8 o'clock in the morning till 8 o'clock in the night. And then I couldn't stop. I actually did a session in the middle of the night, if you guys were awake. I was scaring people. 10:30, I just felt like analyzing some charts. Smoked a little Chiba, got a little buzz going. What? You guys don't smoke weed? What's wrong with you? Oh, by the way, did I mention that part of the job application? If you don't smoke weed, don't apply. People who don't smoke weed creep me out. All right, it's like not liking the Beatles. What's wrong with you? Somebody asked me if there's a drug test involved. I said, yeah, if you don't do drugs, don't apply. All right, I'm out of here now. All right, everybody cool? Everybody all right? Everybody have a good day? Guess what? We'll do more of this every day until my head explodes. Peace. I'm really leaving this time. All right, y'all. Be careful out there. Make sure you get right with the, if you haven't emailed me yet, if you haven't got any free stuff, if you haven't taken the trial, if you haven't been to the schmooze, my email, if you don't know, is kennyglick@aol.com. Yes, mock me all you want. kennyglick@aol. I also have a members only jacket. Black one. I'm the last member. Y'all have a great rest of the afternoon. Tell 2 friends about me. And say hi to your